Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Wild Free Well podcast. You have me here, post run, fresh faced, and buffed and polished to a high shine. And I am here because I had a lightning bolt of inspiration of something that we could talk about on the podcast, which is like how to get healthy and what my, top 5 tips are for getting healthy. I don't actually know if there'll be 5, but whatever. That's the idea is that, right? So let's talk about health and let's talk about getting healthy. And we are going to start this conversation with the things that I think people are expecting me to say, and then we are going to talk about the things that actually make a difference at the end of the day. They all make a difference. All of the things I'm going to say make a difference, and all of them together, I think, can change the trajectory of your health journey. But there are some of these that I think are, more important is maybe not the right word, but I mean, there's some practical things that we should do, and then there are some energetic things that we should do. And our society and our culture tends to put the emphasis on the physical or the practical things that we can do. And those things are important and they're wonderful and all of that jazz, but that's not the whole thing necessarily, okay? But that is exactly where we're going to start today. So it's obvious, I feel like it goes without saying that if you are not sleeping well, it is pretty much just a massive, massive uphill battle to get healthy. Now, I know that there is this sort of like, I don't know, it's almost like a badge of honor. Like if you sleep very little, that it's like somehow something to be proud of. And that's not a thing. And we do not do that here. Not in this part of the world. We do not do that here. The people who listen to this podcast don't buy into stuff like that because we know that sleep is like the thing that resets everything. And I'll be totally honest with you. I've noticed, especially like in the last period, so it's probably going on like about a month or two, where I can feel that my vibration has changed so drastically. My energy and the vibe that I embody has shifted in a really, really powerful way. And I'm in love with it, to be honest with you. But I've also noticed that on the days when I have trouble sleeping, for whatever reason, because like I'm a human and there's stress and there's life and there's all those things, on the days when I struggle to sleep well or I don't sleep well, the next day, keeping my vibe high and maintaining the new baseline that I have feels like a little bit more of a challenge. Whereas every other day, it's just second nature. On the days when I don't sleep, the mindset work becomes something that's like, it becomes work. That's what I will say. On the days when I don't sleep, the mindset work becomes work. And on the other days, it's just a natural flowing extension of who I am and how I move in the world. So that's really powerful. We can do the mindset work without like, being in maybe like a not particularly healthy place in terms like physically. But it's always going to get us a hell of a lot farther if we're starting with a really solid physical baseline. So that looks like sleeping really well and making sure that your physical system is at neutral, okay? You need your physical system to be at a sort of calm ground zero. So that's the first thing. The second thing is hydrate. For the love of all things freaking holy, drink a glass of water. It's just mind-boggling to me. Like, yeah, I see this even with my partner. Like, he forgets to drink. We all do, okay? But we put a reminder on your phone. Like, it makes such a huge difference. Like, we are made of water. So when we are denying ourselves that, we are like literally putting ourselves into this sort of like, I mean, it's a sense of discomfort, isn't it? Like, that feeling. Your eyes are a little bit dry, your mouth is a little bit dry, maybe you're having trouble breathing, you're not breathing through your nose, you're breathing more through your mouth because you're feeling like a little bit blocked in your sinuses. Like, there's a lot of discomfort that comes from not drinking water, aside from the fact that like it makes you smell a little worse and like all of these little things. Like, there's a lot of reasons why we really, 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 really need to be drinking water. But again, it goes back to this like physical ground zero and this like physical baseline and like neutral. Okay, when we're well hydrated, then we are so much better positioned to go after what we want and to actually do the mindset work. And I will tell you something else, and this is probably an entire episode all on its own. When you are not well hydrated, you can kiss clarity goodbye. Kiss it goodbye. There it goes. Because not being well hydrated, and also not sleeping well too, but like in different ways, but not being well hydrated creates a certain kind of brain fog that makes it almost impossible to get clarity on like what you want or where you're going or what goals you need to achieve or what steps you need to take to get there, or all of the other things that we talk about all the time here on the podcast to do with mindset. It becomes a hell of a lot harder to occupy that space because you just don't have the baseline necessary to do it well. So everything becomes, again, this like massive uphill battle when it doesn't need to be. Drink a glass of water and your life will just be much easier. So like go do that. Pause this right now. Pause it right now and go take a sip of water. And if you need help with hydration, there is an entire episode of this podcast called about hydration, and it's called Got 99 Problems But Hydration Ain't One. So if that vibes with you, you go and listen to that. And it's all about the mindset of hydration and how to hydrate well. And also, I didn't put this disclaimer at the beginning of the podcast. It is obvious, I think, to all involved that I am not a medical doctor. So like the things that I'm telling you are from my own lived experience, from the experience of my clients, things that I have learned from other wellness practitioners in the self-development space. So I am sharing what I think is valid information, but it cannot in any way substitute valid medical advice from a authorized medical professional. Thank you, the end. Okay, I'm just checking my notes. So we've got sleep, we've got water. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put these in a weird order for a second because I think that it's really relevant, because I think it's gonna flow a little bit nicer later. So you need to find a sport that you love. You wanna get healthy, you need to move your body. Whether you like it or not, just full stop. Diet is important, it's obvious, hydration and sleep are important, but if you're sitting on your behind all day long, it is not going to come out with like a nice firm shape. That's just not how that works. We have to think about basic math. You want to be fit, you wanna get healthy, you need to move your body a little bit. Moving your body makes the difference in every single sense. Everything. It impacts absolutely everything. First off, it can combat mild to moderate depression. So just that alone, gold star for exercise, right? But the point here is that you need to find a type of exercise that you love, okay? It needs to be something that you love. We do not settle. Okay, in this community, in the Wild Free Well community, we do not settle in any other area of our lives. We do not compromise, we do not negotiate, we do not barter. You can see all of the previous episodes on those topics, right? We do not do that here. We just don't do that here. So why in the bloody hell would we start compromising or bartering or negotiating on a type of exercise that we don't really love? That just doesn't make sense. You're not going to settle for a partner that you don't really love. Don't settle for a form of exercise that you don't really love. Take the time and put in the effort. And I understand that like sometimes this can be hard. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And it can be somewhat time consuming to find something that you actually love, but it is so well worth it, because we are talking about, just the thing that keeps you alive. Like no big deal. We're just talking about taking care of the vessel that houses your spirit and that helps you move forward, show up, love your family, your partner, your kids, your dog, do the work that you do in the world, complete your mission, have the impact that you have. Like, no big deal, right? So take the time and find something that you actually want to spend your time doing. Like, for example, I love running, but I'm not going to tell you to go out and run because that doesn't make any sense, because maybe you hate running. Maybe you just want to go for like a really long walk every day. You know what I mean? Maybe you just want to take that time, one would hope without something in your ear, including this podcast. Take some time, go for a walk, and just see the effect that it has on like your body, mind, and spirit, the whole trifecta, because it's incredible. Go for a walk in nature without listening to anything. Just be with yourself, be present with the sounds that are around you, and see how different you feel on the other side of that. Okay, that's a valid form of exercise. Don't let anybody freaking tell you otherwise. It does not need to be hit. It does not need to be intense. That is not the answer for everyone. And again, and again, and again, we don't do that here. What do I mean by that? We don't buy into these arbitrary things that people tell us we need to do in order to be healthy or fit or whatever. Like, I don't care what anyone else is doing. What do you want to do? I don't care what I'm doing. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you need? What's going to make you feel better? What's going to make you feel like the best version of yourself? What exercise lights you up? What exercise makes you want to show up every day, jump out of bed, put on the shoes, and go do the damn thing, right? That's what matters. It doesn't matter what I do or how I move. It doesn't matter how every other fitness person moves. I don't care how many millions of programs are out there. None of that matters if it's not true for you. The only thing that is ever, ever, ever going to matter in any discussion that we're having, today we're talking about health, but tomorrow it'll be about something else, is what you believe to be true and what you're willing to do to change potentially that truth, okay? Because in some ways we do need to shift and choose a thought that serves us more. That's the mindset work. But here, you don't have to do Pilates because someone else does, or you don't have to run because someone else does, and you don't have to do weightlifting or CrossFit or whatever. You can do whatever it is that lights you up, and that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, which leads us into our next conversation, which is about being well nourished. Okay, we need to find a way to be well nourished. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't buy into diets, again, for the exact same freaking reason about the exercising. Like, I just don't care. It does not matter to me. I have also been blessed enough and privileged enough to never really have to worry about being on a diet. And so that influences inevitably my opinion on things. However, I still think that the ultimate truth of there not being an ultimate truth is valid here. So like a diet works for one person, doesn't work for another, but works for the fourth. Like, it doesn't matter what it is that you're eating necessarily. What is more important about that whole experience is how you feel about it. So it is more important to me that what I eat makes me feel really good and really satisfied than that the things that I'm eating are inherently healthy, okay? Because, for example, salad, which is like, it's the apex of healthy, right? Like, that's the numero uno of healthy. I can't eat salads. I can eat them only in the summer when the weather is hot. I find it very hard to digest lettuce. It's and cold food. It's just really not necessarily for me. I can eat salads really joyfully for about maybe 4 to 5 months out of the year. In the winter, the idea of having a salad makes me want to shrivel up. It's just not. It's not a thing for me. Okay. Now, does that make a salad less healthy for someone else? No. It makes a salad not healthy for me. And on top of that, eating a salad outside of this 4 to 5 month window makes me feel really awful. I don't love the experience of eating a salad in the dead of winter. That's just not a vibe for me. Cold food when it's cold is not a vibe. That does not line up with who I am as a person. So, what is more beneficial? Eating the salad that I don't want to eat and that does not make me happy, or eating something that is potentially less healthy but brings me just a ton of joy? I'm going to let you answer that one, but I bet you can guess what my answer is. So, that's how we're moving. It's always based on the joy-filled thing. It's always about doing the thing that feels good, because the thing that feels good to you is always going to have a bigger, better impact on your life than doing the thing that you think you should do because some arbitrary rule somewhere or some person, some dietitian from whenever it was, said that eating a salad was the right thing to do, or eating this specific food or whatever it might be was the right thing to do. How you feel about you, about the experience, about the food that you're consuming is always, for me, from my lived experience, always going to be more important than what someone else believes to be true about this. That's just not a thing. There's that. Okay. Now we're shifting gears, but we're keeping in mind everything that we've talked about. Yes? So, keeping in mind the conversation that we've had up until now, you're going to sleep well because because you're not a machine and you need rest. You're going to hydrate because you're basically a plant, like the meme says. You're going to exercise doing something that you love because we don't settle here. And you are going to eat something that genuinely brings you joy and makes you feel well nourished. Okay, but what else can we do? What else can we do to improve our health? So, one of the things that I have noticed has had a big impact on me getting healthy. And I would say also slimming down. Okay, for me, this has been true for me. Again, everything that I'm telling you is from my lived experience, from my perspective. It is offering you another perspective. I am in no way expecting you to go out and do all of these things, but I am encouraging you to have a conversation between you and you, right? About what would most serve you moving forward. Okay, so one of the things that has had a massive impact on my overall wellness and health has been taking multiple deep breaths throughout the day. I understand how weird that sounds. And I am not talking about meditating, and I am not talking about any specific form of anything, okay? I'm not talking about any system at all. I'm talking just about breathing. Just the idea of going multiple times per day. We are in the habit, collectively, I believe, of holding our breath. We are triggered, overstimulated. We're a little bit stressed out. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot happening everywhere. There's a lot of information being thrown at us at any given moment on any given day. And like when you breathe deeply, you are just really bringing, again, your body back to that ground zero. But for me, it's about so much more than that. It's about so much more than that because it's an energetic experience when you breathe in, when you're being present with your breath, because you can breathe in the energy that you want and exhale the energy that you don't need. This becomes a process of releasing. And that is why, for me, it has helped me slim down, because by breathing well and frequently, I am using it as a tool to release whatever energetic gunk I have in my system, okay? Whether that be in my aura, like my ethereal body, or my physical body, in my mental body, in my spiritual body, whatever it is, I'm moving through that stuff and I'm letting it go by actively breathing. It makes a huge difference because it brings me back into the present moment. It brings me back into that ground zero space of like just really being at this kind of baseline neutral within my body. And also, it just feels really good. Like, I literally cannot tell you the sheer joy of taking 3 deep breaths at any given point of the day. And like doing this multiple times and just being present with like yourself for 2 seconds. Like, you know, not having the phone, not having the computer, not having someone else around, just like taking that time. And like, it doesn't matter to me if you're doing this in the shower, maybe not under the water, obviously, or like while you're on the bathroom. Like, it doesn't matter where you're doing it. I don't care, because if you're in an office setting, maybe that's the only like kind of 10 seconds of privacy that you get. Do it there then. Do it there. And like, sorry for the TMI about that, but like seriously, just finding that time to like take those deep breaths and close your eyes and just come back here. Come back here. And it will change everything because you're releasing. You're just letting something go, and it's so, so powerful. The last thing I'm going to say is the most important thing that I will tell you today, okay? You can forget everything else and remember just this one thing, and your entire life will change. Your health will change if you apply it to health. Your money will change if you apply it to money. Your work, your relationships, I don't care. This one thing alone will change your life, okay? The most important thing that you can do is believe that whatever it is that you are doing is actually having a difference, is actually making a difference, is actually having an impact, okay? So if you believe that every single thing that you're doing is leading you to the ultimate goal that you're trying to achieve, Today we're talking about health. Tomorrow we're talking about something else. Like always, it doesn't matter because this is all mindset work at the end of the day. If you believe that every single thing that you're doing brings you closer to the goal that you want, then every other thing that you do will automatically have a positive impact because you've decided that that's the way it gets to work for you. Because you've decided that that's what gets to be true for you. So if you decide that from this moment forth, every action that you take, every step that you take towards getting healthier has a positive visual, visceral impact on your health, then I promise you that that will be the most important thing that you do out of all of the things that we've talked about and out of all the other tips that you will hear from anyone else on planet Earth. If you believe it's going to work, it's going to work. If you believe it's having a positive impact, it's going to have a positive impact. So what you believe about what you're doing is more important than what you're doing in and of itself. Because if you're doing the thing, but you don't believe that it's working or you don't believe that it's having an impact, you're basically just wasting your time. You're fighting against yourself. And we don't want to do that here, right? We want to be on our own side. We want to be on our own team. We want to have our own back, right? We've talked about this recently, like backing ourselves on other episodes of the podcast. So like, if you can get behind yourself, if you can believe that what you're doing is bringing you exactly where you want to be, then that alone will change everything. Mic drop. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We're done for today. I hope this episode was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever, all that good stuff. If you know somebody who needs to hear this because they are trying to get their health in order, then please, please, please feel free to share it with them. I would so appreciate that. And honestly, every time you share or you like or you comment or all of those things, it's just like sending a little love note to me. And it's really like supportive and encouraging. And if you share it with somebody else, it helps more people find the podcast. It helps the podcast grow. It increases the ripple effect of like impact and, like the positive impact that this space gets to have. And that's really the whole point for me. So I would really appreciate it if you would do that. And yeah. And know that I love you and know that I care deeply for you. Like, we don't know each other and that's cool, but like, I'm here having this conversation with you because I genuinely give a shit. I genuinely give a shit. And if no one else does in your life, please know that I'm here and I have your back. And I'm rooting for you endlessly rooting for you. Okay. I am your personal cheerleader, which is fun because I actually was a cheerleader in high school. So like, that's good. I'm warmed up. I'm ready. I'm prepared for this. So yes. So I hope this episode served you. I hope that it helps you get forward, move on. What am I trying to say? I hope it helps you on your fitness journey and just really like has a positive impact on you. And I hope you have an amazing weekend and I will see you on the next episode of the podcast. Ciao.